Hi, this is Ruthie Siders, and I'm coming to you from our backyard here in Billerica, and it's a beautiful afternoon. I've been waiting a couple hours, to be honest, to be able to record this video because it seems that this afternoon was so nice that all our neighbors out back wanted to mow their lawns. And I'm not really all that gifted at waiting. In fact, the image that always pops into my mind is that of teaching a dog to stay. So if you're a dog lover or know dogs like we do, then you're familiar that you teach the dog to sit, and then you step back and say stay, and step back a little more and stay, and a little further, stay, and finally when you're about ready to invite him to come to you, you can tell that he's so anxious and his eyes are looking at you like, please let me come to you. And so you finally say it, come, and he leaps at you and his tail is wagging and he's jumping and he's so excited. You know, waiting just isn't all that easy for dogs, but let's be honest, it's not all that easy for most of us. In fact, I was thinking about waiting because this coming Sunday is Pentecost Sunday, and if you know me, you know that I love Pentecost. And the last words that Jesus said to his disciples before he rose back into heaven was to tell them about this gift that was coming, but he didn't really tell them when. In fact, Luke records Jesus' words in the first chapter of Acts, where Jesus says to his disciples to wait in Jerusalem for the promise of the Father. And then he says this is what you have heard me say, that John baptized with water, but you will be baptized with the Holy Spirit not many days from now. So the disciples are told to go back in Jerusalem and wait. Jesus ascends to the Father in front of their eyes into the clouds, and all they're supposed to do is go back and wait. And they don't know for how long, a day, 2 days? It's kind of an undetermined amount of time they have to wait. And it's not an easy thing to do. If you've never thought much about waiting or the significance of time, listen to these words. To realize the value of 10 years, ask a 55-year-old who's just been the subject of corporate downsizing. To realize the value of 4 years, ask a graduate. To realize the value of 1 year, ask a senior who just failed a final exam. To realize the value of 9 months, ask a mother who's just given birth to a stillborn child. To realize the value of 1 month, ask the father who's sitting in the NICU holding the tiny hand of his premature baby. To realize the value of 1 week, ask the editor of a weekly newspaper. To realize the value of 1 hour, ask the parents who are waiting for their son or daughter to come out of the baggage claim area, returning home from deployment. To realize the value of 1 minute, ask the person who missed the bus, the plane, or the train. And I have a story about that for another time. To realize the value of 1 second, ask the person who just barely survived a car accident. And to realize the value of 1 millisecond, ask the person who got the silver medal in the freestyle swimming event at the Olympics. The disciples were waiting together, and they had time to think upon all that Jesus had taught them, and especially these last words about a promise from the Father. In a way, they still didn't completely understand all that Jesus had been trying to teach them. And isn't that just a little bit comforting? To know that even those who walked with Jesus daily, who were eyewitnesses to his death and his resurrection, they still didn't completely understand. But eventually they did. And what made the difference? The coming of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is this promised gift of the Father. So friends, we are in this season of waiting for an undetermined amount of time. And it's hard. We're waiting for the good health reports, for the COVID numbers to go down, for a vaccine to be created and tested and then distributed. We're waiting to get back together regularly with our friends and our family, with our small group, and yes, to be able to worship together in person. We're waiting to return to our offices, to the marketplace, or to school. And some of you are waiting for your jobs to come back, for your hours to be reinstated, or maybe even to find a new job. We're waiting. We're waiting to see what summer vacation might look like. Will we have to postpone all of our plans to another time? But here's the thing. whatever it is for which you are waiting, like the disciples, we may not understand what God is doing, but we live on this side of Pentecost. And so we wait knowing that we have the power and the presence and the comfort of the Holy Spirit to carry us through this season. And this is a time for us to display the fruit of that Holy Spirit that dwells within us. Those fruit are listed in Galatians 5:22, and they are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. What a witness we can be if we allow that fruit of the Spirit to show in our lives as we participate in the This Is Grace initiative, as we reach into our communities and find ways that we can be helping, as we support one another through this season. So friends, as we approach Pentecost Sunday, I encourage you to ask the Holy Spirit to refresh the fruit of the Spirit in your life, that you might demonstrate love and joy, peace and patience, kindness and goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. In this season, as we are waiting, we have every confidence that God is not sitting idle. God is not waiting. God is on the move. God is actively doing a new thing. And He's going to invite us, when this season is over, to participate in that. And that's worth waiting for. Have a great day.